hunt hungry.
Guys, got a good podcast today. Sit down with Bryan Thomas from Shot 3D. It seems like a crazy time to be thinking about archery, experience shoots, fun shoots, challenges, whatever you want to call them. But they're coming up pretty soon in the spring. So it's time to start thinking about them, where they're going to be, getting your buddies together. Are you going to go? If you've always thought about going to one, but you've never really, done it because you're kind of scared, you're intimidated, you're not sure what to expect, you're thinking you're going to lose all your arrows. I would definitely encourage you to check out Shot 3D Experience. All their links to all their socials are down below. Very friendly environment. It's not intimidating. It's not, just a ton of people. So you feel like you don't know where to go, you're confused or lost or whatever. I don't know why people don't go to these events, but you should go to these events. Definitely follow their social medias. You kind of get an idea of what they're all about, where they're going to be. They got a lot of cool sponsors, great stuff, a lot of fun. If you got questions, definitely ask them and they will help you out. Very friendly environment. So really cool conversation about how it all started, some of the stuff they've got going on, things from last year, things from next year. So listen to this podcast. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's got a lot of good information in it. So let's pay some bills before we get to it though. The Patreon members, thank you guys for being a member of the Patreon. We got a free trial right now. So if you want to, try it out, just see what's back there, you can do that for free. So thank you to Patreon members, active YouTube members, the ones that are leaving comments, liking, sharing, all that stuff. Thank you guys for doing that. It means a ton. Spotify, check us out on Spotify. Leave a 5-star review. It helps. Follow it. Make sure you're a follower and you listen to it and leave it a 5-star review, as well as on this, subscribe, like. Go check out the Hunt Hungry podcast. That's where this stuff will eventually be transitioning to, because I just can't post multiple, I should be posting 4 times a week. And it takes away from the other content that I'm making about archery. So go check out the Hunt Hungry podcast channel. That'll be where these will all transition to at some point or another. So you want to be subscribed to that then. Rambo Bikes, use Triple R Woods at checkout. Save yourself 20%. Deer season's here, right on our doorsteps. You don't want to walk 3 miles back there in that September heat. Get you a Rambo e-bike and save yourself 20% using Triple R Woods. Appreciate you guys. Let's get to it. Bryan, I appreciate you jumping on here with me. I know you're a busy man. It is your birthday, so I know I'm probably interrupting cake and ice cream and all that, time with the family, but hopefully this will be a good time either way, and then you can get back to that stuff. So you are one of the owners of Shot 3D, right?
Yes, me and Jeremy Budgick and Tim Gregg.
And y'all are all Oklahoma guys, right?
So originally we all were. Now Tim's kind of jumped ship and he moved up to Colorado, so he's working out of there now. I
can't blame him for that. Colorado's a beautiful state. I wouldn't want to pay taxes there, but it's a beautiful state. So yeah, I'll give him that. So man, if somebody asks you, like, what is Shot 3D? How do you define that to them? Because people ask me, because I have the videos out, and like, man, I saw that video. What is this? Like, how would you describe it?
Man, Shot 3D is a little bit of it's hard. It's sometimes I don't like comparing myself to Total Archery Challenge, but similarities, they are the ones that kind of kick the door in for this type of an event. But one thing that's tricky about us is, like, we have, I feel like, a lot more novelty shots. And what the novelty shot is where you pay to play. It's a carny game with bows. A lot of guys that I talk to, they say, "Oh my gosh, this is worse than a casino." Coming over there trying to get entries in to win side-by-sides, bows, broadheads, all kinds of different things. But we have 5 courses. They're all different difficulties and lengths. I feel like TAC throws it with all the long bombs. So we kind of dedicate one course just for that. We make it the longest course. We make it the 110, 120 yard shots on it. Not all of them, but we get those in there. Then we scale it down and we do like a 80 yard max, 3 mile, 2.5 mile course. And then we go down to a 60 yard max. And then we go down to what we call the hunt style, which is the Antlers motorsports course usually. And it's more 30, 40 yards, but they are technical. Like, it's not just here's a target 20 yards away, you're shooting it. We got to make it, a little bit of difficulty there. And then we also, one thing that's different from TAC for us is we have an ASA qualifier on our range. So we had the Archery Garage ASA course this year. Saturdays only, we hosted a qualifier. So whatever state we were in, there was a qualifier. And that was a pretty cool thing for us to try to mesh all types of shooters. Number one, it's a membership drive for ASA, but it's also a chance for the ASA guys to come see what the shot style stuff's all about. And the feedback that we got was it was worth it. I think next year is going to be even better. We've been talking with Josh Grind on the national level with ASA, working with him. He's been helping out. He loves the fact that we want to incorporate this stuff. So,
oh, that's a genius idea. Because it was 2 years ago, I guess, that I had to miss an ASA, and that year I was like super into the ASA deal, and I had to miss one to go to the Shot 3D, and frustrating at the time because I thought I needed to be in this points race, but this year I was not near as I didn't shoot a single ASA. I didn't shoot a single like local ASA 3D type event. I literally just said, I'm going to put all my time and money into your type of events, like fun shoots, low stress, low pressure, just a bunch of buddies having a good time. And I enjoyed it. I have no regrets about that.
Yeah.
I like the ASA deal. It's fun, but I love what you guys do.
I like the fact, here's the one thing that the aspect of ASA is it helps clubs out, local clubs, because it'll get people there to their club and check their range out. Man, there for 2-3 years ago, clubs were dying off. Like you couldn't find anywhere to go shoot. You look at Oklahoma now, my goodness, Neil Cooley, the stuff he's done with ASA. And I like to think we had a little bit of help with this too. Pushing some of the stuff out, not only with just shot, but with the odd main out stuff that we did beforehand, with getting the clubs back involved. And my goodness, there is no shortage of clubs in Oklahoma right now. So, yeah,
I saw the ASA, like the Saturday morning ASA at Oklahoma. What was the first one?
Arrowhead.
Arrowhead, yeah. So I shot Arrowhead, and we were pulling up to park, and we saw all these cars. So we pulled in there, and then somebody comes out, and they're like, "This is just for the ASA." There's so many cars there. It's just the ASA. Like if you're shooting, you need to go on down for the actual Shot 3D deal. So yeah, that was. And then Arkansas is not as big. I hope it gets bigger. I hope it grows. It is cool. I like it, but it just for me and 2 kids to go shoot, and we were trying to do it like every weekend or every other weekend. It's $60 or $80 just an entry fees.
Oh yeah,
and we're winning a piece of wood with a sticker on it. It's like
I don't really. At the end of the year, man, you got that.
I mean, buckle. My kids, they got a buckle. They couldn't tell you where it's at. I mean, it's just kind of like. I mean, it's cool, but it was just it was getting expensive, and I think I made a lot more memories going to TAC, going to Shot 3D. Having putting money into those, y'all got me with that, worse than the casino on that hinge, really, that Ibex hinge.
Yeah,
I threw some money down on that, and it was awesome, and I love that stuff. And it was on a course, which is unique. You don't see that anywhere. Where you're going through a course, and then all of a sudden in the middle or at the end, here's like, hey, put some money down, you win something. Really cool, really unique. Before we get too far down that rabbit hole, how did this start? Like what? A little bit. I know you said y'all got some stuff coming out, but your brief overview of what started Shot.
I can give you. So it's funny because it never intended to be this big. It was some buddies that went and shot TAC, and when we got done, we're like, man, that only happens in Oklahoma one time. We need to do something. So we started with about 15 crappy targets in Jeremy's backyard, and I'm talking. Like I brought over I got it sitting out here just for a reminder of like where I came from. It's an old Glendale buck that's just shot up. It was shot up when I brought it over there. But we had those little woodland moose, Reinhardts, a bunch of little smaller targets, and we just a bunch of buddies out there bragging rights and beer money. And that next thing we had 20 targets, and then their buddies started bringing buddies, and turned into. We started, let's promote a jackpot on Facebook, and we came up with the name Odd Main Out because we wanted to be different. Our pay, we made it real simple. We paid one place, and we paid for an open class, a bow hunter class, and a youth and a women's. Like that was it. And you could win Saturday and you could win Sunday, separate payouts. And we didn't give no open lanes. It was shooting over limbs, shooting under stuff, hiding. Like it was typical what you see on some of the shot courses now. And that's kind of how it all started out. And that 15, 20 friends turned into, 80 to 100 people every other weekend showing up to the house. And we were like, well, let's call old Timbo up from the Rogue Archer and see what he's got going and see if he wants to throw some of his targets in. And let's have 2 courses at the end of the year. Bring a food truck in and let's just make this like a customer appreciation shoot. And well, and next thing you know, he called Kevin, and Kevin threw his targets in. And next thing you know, we got five courses, and we're like, holy crap. So we kind of scrambled and with some pretty cool sponsors like Buckhorn Archery, Ross and them down there, threw in a bow that we did for a giveaway, a bunch of other prizes, arrows. With about a month and a half of planning, maybe a month, we popped 300 people for our first event in August of 2023 in Hugo at the state park there.
So this was about 3 years ago, is that right?
Yeah. So we just finished up our second full season. And then our inaugural event was August of 23. So yeah, it was like we saw the people show up and we heard all the people saying how awesome it was. And it was the hottest weekend in Oklahoma that year. Oh my God. Like I about stroked out. Candace, Jeremy's sister, was helping us. She had to take her to the hospital. Like,
oh my gosh. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. But Nick Dawa from Unbound Archery was our first course sponsor. Then we had Buckhorn, of course, Bill Sporting Goods, Heritage, Landco, and Antlers Motorsports. That was our first course sponsors that year. And of course, most of those guys we still work with. So
yeah, no, that's cool. That y'all and y'all come a long way since then. It sounds like. I mean, I wasn't there for that, but it sounds like. But even that, it still feels kind of like that, like group of buddies in the backyard hanging out. Like that's the vibe you get from
100%.
the what do you call your little shop area? Yeah, base camp. Yeah, whatever that is. You still get that vibe because like you're out there working all day long. As an owner, you're working. Jeremy's running people here and there. Tim's doing stuff. Like y'all aren't just up, smoking cigars while kick back making money or something. Like y'all are out working and around the people, and that's awesome. And
yeah, that's one thing though that we talked about when we started this is. So tomorrow we're going to do a shot podcast with me, Jeremy, and Tim, and we're going to do an origin story. So you guys tune in for that. But But one of the things that really got us was I had a pretty cool interaction with John Dudley and my son, who was about 4 at the time, three or 4. John just picked up Cannon right in the middle of a conversation, carried him around like he was his own kid.
That's cool.
If you've ever met John Dudley, he is literally that guy.
He's a good dude. Yeah.
Honestly. And that was the biggest thing I carried away from TAC was those interactions that I had with him. Not anything against anybody, but like, we're a little more personable. Now, what allows us to do that is we don't have 2,000 people sitting there at base camp either. I think we had between 700 and 800 people at Tulsa, that last one we had. So we're getting there, but we don't ever plan on changing that personal feeling either, because that is the one thing that keeps us going is being able to make it feel like, hey, when you're there, it's only me and you talking when you're shooting at Buffalo 106, even though there's a line of 20 people. I'm going to call those shots for you. That's another thing that I think we do a lot. I'm trying to get people in there. I'm walking them in. At TAC, you're just shooting and you go down and check them. If you're in, you're in, you're out, you're out. I genuinely want to see people get entry. We're giving it away. I mean, it doesn't matter how many entries to me. I know some other people are like, hey, quit walking people in. but I mean, honestly, though, if I got a guy that's like, hey, I've only got a 60-yard max on my pins. Well, shoot, man, I bet we can get you there. Let's try it. And seeing those guys that have never shot 106 yards get in there, that's a win for me.
Absolutely. No, yeah. I think it's cool that y'all aren't like we're competing against TAC. Like that's y'all are not, you're adamant about, you're like, we're not trying to do that. Like in TAC's cool. It's its own thing. It's awesome. But why can't we do it every other weekend in the South, in our area,
That was my thing is we also wanted to hit those places that they didn't quite hit. So we're in Kansas, Louisiana, we're in Arkansas. We got a surprise next year coming up.
Man, I can't wait.
It's going to be a good one.
When are you going to tell everybody that? When is that?
I'm hoping we're within a week or so. I hope
Ooh.
by the end of August we have our schedule out. So
Follow all Shot 3D social media to find that out. To be first here.
yeah,
Is
yeah,
he a
yeah.
plug?
It'll be that. We're making a big push on our YouTube right now. We're going to be doing some giveaways. I think I set my first goal at 500. We had like 130 people. Now we're at 200 something. The YouTube deal's all new to us. But we're going to do more than just our podcast on there. So hunting season's coming up. We're going to start filming some content for hunting. Some of our sponsors, we're going to film some Sever stuff. We're going to film some Victory Arrow stuff, some Tactacam stuff. You know, we have a lot of cool things down the road to film and release. So YouTube going to grow with some content there. It's fun. I have a lot of guys ask me about it. So it's kind of like we were like, you know what, let's just jump on board and go with it. So
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. You're doing it right too. Like the sponsors having some stuff on there for them and growing it and giveaways. That's going to be cool. Yeah, if you haven't already followed them, go follow them, check them out. They're Shot 3D. They do a great job. One thing, not to go back again. Last thing I'm going to say about Total Archery Challenge because I don't. I'm like we don't compare to Total Archery Challenge, and then I'm like, let me talk about Total Archery Challenge. I've been to Oklahoma for 4 years maybe doing TAC, and I love it. I go every year. It's a blast. Me and my buddies go have a great time. We shoot whatever the hardest course is that year. It'll be like Sitka or something.
the island,
the island, and then there's another one, Prime maybe.
Prime or the Hoyt course,
And I've about got the course memorized. Like I can tell you, there's going to be the big moose, the 100-yard shot's going to be at the halfway point of Prime, where you turn back and start coming back the other side of the island. I mean, I'm just, and it's like I've been there, done that, and I still love it. But at the same time, it's cool to go to I went from Louisiana, or down there in the bottoms of the swamp, basically shooting Shot 3D. To Kansas, which is wide open, rolling hills, prairie, back to Arkansas, to the Ozark Mountains, just all the different, and within 3 or 4 hour drive from where I'm at, where I live, so it's just really cool opportunity that people need to take advantage of. Y'all guys are doing a great job with that.
Well, we appreciate that, man. That's one of the things too, when making our game plans on stuff, is we know TAC is TAC, and you go to TAC to see beautiful scenes. You go TAC to see a bunch of the awesome guys on YouTube and your social media stars. We have a few of them coming in and out, like Tate.
I don't know.
But what we do is we put 120% thought process in our shots. Like Tate was saying, nothing against TAC, but they are kind of cookie cutter sometimes. And us, you're never going to see the same thing. Now, you might see there's a bluff shot at Arrowhead that we can't take out, but it's not going to be the same target every year.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be it's going to be moved a little, but we got to have that bluff shot, right? Like there's a few things that you got to kind of throw in just because it's so awesome. And there's a chance that, there's going to be 150, 200 extra people that haven't seen it show up this year,
Yeah. So what of all the events y'all did this year, and let's go through the ones you did in case somebody's watching and I didn't know that was around me. You start off at Broken Arrowhead
Oklahoma. State Park in Lake Eufaula.
And then it was Louisiana.
Then Muddy Bottoms in Louisiana. Sorrento, Louisiana.
And Kansas.
Yep.
Then Arkansas.
And
then you ended back in Tulsa. Is that right?
Post Oak Lodge in Tulsa. Yep.
Tulsa. Okay. So of those 5, which one stands out to you the most? I hate for you to call it a favorite because I know like somebody's gonna get their feelings hurt, but like what was the neatest, I guess the coolest event?
So there's it's each one has its own thing. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
Like course wise, some of the most talked about courses probably at Arrowhead State Park. That Buckhorn course from 2 years ago, which was the Rolling Bones course this year, was a pretty talked about course throughout. So course wise, Arrowhead State Park, just because it's kind of a sleeper. People don't realize the up and down that we have there and the scenes. Also, just view wise and just how everything went. Flint Oak was Kansas, man. That place was just, there's something about it. I don't know. I can't say.
Yeah. When I saw Kansas on the list, I was like, in a hayfield. We're just gonna be in a hayfield shooting bows. Like I mean, I like long shots, so I guess I'll be down for whatever. It was way above and beyond, exceeded my expectations. Not only the lodge place was incredible, the wildlife, the views, the rolling hills. Y'all did excellent with the course. Like that's my favorite, and I'm an Arkansas guy, and I'll say that one was my favorite. The shots were incredible. Like the zebra out in the middle of a field with one tree. It kind of looks like you're in a safari shooting a zebra at 100 yards or something crazy like that. And then, we could get into how cool the targets are. Those targets, I don't know where y'all get them. I don't know how much they cost, but they're incredible. But back to I was telling my wife, because she's gone to Pack, Colorado with me and walked a course one day, and then the next day she went shopping or whatever. I told her, like, next year if they're in Kansas, you're gonna have to go, because it's like the course is cool, the archery stuff's fun, the lodge is sweet, the food's great. I mean, the views are great. Like it's a
little social hour worked out pretty cool. Man.
Yeah, you can make a weekend out of that with your wife. She's not mad. You're getting to shoot bows and hang out with people with similar likes. So that one was really cool. I really enjoyed that one. And like you said, your targets, Wild Creek, right?
Yep.
I follow them on social media now, and to watch them like make those targets is great.
They got a dragon coming out, dude. You been watching that thing?
I did see that dragon, and it's awesome. They have the unique, most detailed targets I've ever seen. And it's cool to shoot them, because it's like, where else am I going to shoot this? And I'll try to overlay some pictures over this, because like there will be, just talking about it doesn't do it justice. You need to see them.
No, it's crazy, because a lot of people ask us how we even found them. And when we came up, kind of going back to the origin thing here, when we were odd vein out archery, that was the whole thing. We wanted to be different. We wanted to be, we didn't want to be cookie cutter Reinhardt or Delta McKenzie. So we were looking at stuff in France. We were looking at targets in China. We were looking everywhere, found these Wild Creek targets, and found that we could get one pretty close. So we ordered one, which was the Ibex, the very first, and a blessed buck. We got a blessed buck, bush buck. Shot them with our odd vein out stuff for a little while, and they held up, and we're just like, man, let's get more of these. And ended up working out a deal with Mike Poindexter from Wild Creek USA, and that they became a sponsor, and we've been pushing them, and we just got about 15 pallets unloaded at Jeremy's house to sell. So we're all dealers for Wild Creek as well. So
awesome. My only complaint is I don't know what some of the animals are, so I sound like an idiot when I'm like, we shot this deer-looking thing at 90 yards. I don't know what they are, but they're sweet looking.
Because I always tell people to go watch your videos if they don't know what we're about, because you do a heck of a job. You put the yardage on there of each target, shot angles. Like, you do a heck of a job explaining the course for somebody that's never been there. And that's the only complaint that I ever had was, he called that kudu something.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Kudu, stable, all those.
They're all kudu. If I don't know what it is, like, that's a kudu. Yeah, I don't. It's a kudu. Of course it is.
Yeah. I tell you what. What's worse is trying to put horns on all those things. Is they're all spiral and they all look the same. I'm just like, oh man, I don't know if that's right.
I'd mix them up on purpose, just see if anybody noticed. Like, just see if anybody notices.
Nobody does, unless there's a couple guys that actually go to Africa and they're like, "Hey, man, you had the Nyala horns on the kudu over there."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
So a couple, one of the things that I love Kansas. That was awesome. Long shots, like 125-yard shots. Yeah. Targets were huge and cool looking. Unique setup, shooting over ponds. Really cool. Love Kansas. I look forward to it next year. One of my favorite things about Shot 3D though is I get to experiment with my setups. So I'm a tinkerer. I love to tinker and change things, and so I shooting different arrows, different sight tapes. The sight tape I shot in Louisiana, I changed bows from the first one in Broken Arrow or Arrowhead.
Arrowhead.
From Arrowhead to Louisiana. I changed bows from Louisiana to Kansas. I changed sight tapes. I change stuff all the time. And so, and I'll do it again next year. And I love that I can do that there, and it's not a big deal. It's like, okay, I missed a foam target. It's not the end of the world. But that, I think that's cool stuff. I really enjoy that y'all do that.
Yep.
What is there anything you can tell us new? I know you said there's going to be a new state. Is there anything that I know it's like y'all are was way early to be talking about this?
It is early, man. We're like right now is in the middle of.
Yeah.
We got some stuff cooking that's can't talk about just yet. We got some biggers. We got a big sponsor thing working on right now with a brand that everybody's going to be like, oh.
Awesome.
Then we got the state announcement. We got some other things. Everything's right in the middle of the hustle and bustle and trying to get everything locked in. So
we will revisit this.
Watching.
We will definitely revisit this in the spring and do this again. And we'll. I figure this is a little early, but like I didn't know y'all were going to a new state. So I mean there you go. That's the new headline. You're gonna be in a new.
There we go. Adding a state for sure.
That's awesome. Well, so tomorrow y'all are doing an origin. Do y'all put them out like a week later? This one
within a couple of days.
Okay, so y'all getting them out pretty quick.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was a live or what.
No, we try not to do lives. We just on a podcast doing a live. We're able to do some edits just in case.
A lot of liability issues there.
Yeah, yeah. So we end up talking about something we shouldn't. But
well, I get it. That's I can relate to that. So Shot 3D, awesome. Excited about it. We love it. I can't say good enough things about it. I'm looking forward to it already, and we haven't even started deer season. I'm already thinking about like what bow am I going to get this fall or winter that I might take to Shot 3D in the spring. So, but let's talk about your fall. Your deer hunting this fall. You got any plans? What do you hunt? Just Oklahoma? Are you traveling? What are you doing?
So we hunt Oklahoma quite a bit, but we also travel. So about the third weekend of September, me, Jeremy, and Amber will be in Nebraska, the western part of Nebraska, for mule deer. The cool thing about Nebraska is if it doesn't work out on a mule deer there, we usually go down to another part in south central Nebraska and whitetail hunting the rut. And that's where Jeremy shot his good buck last year, was on that spot. So public land too, which is awesome about that. But just a cool little spot down there. Then me and Jeremy go to Arizona in December and January, usually right after Christmas. Kids unwrap presents. We kiss the wives and the kids goodbye, and we take off for a 16 to 18-hour drive to Arizona and try to shoot coos deer. But it's also good for mule deer. So if the right mule deer jumps in the way, it could turn into a mule deer hunt real fast. But yeah, we go down there for the coos deer. One of the most challenging hunts I've ever done in my life. And when I shoot a coos deer, you guys will be able to hear me scream all the way there in Arkansas when I shoot one with my bow, because it's something. That's what keeps me going down there.
Awesome. Are those all draws, or do you over the counter? How do you do that?
So it's an over the counter, but you got to call and get. They have X amount available for non-resident. You call, and so I mean it's over the counter, but you got to be one of the first ones to get on there and do it.
Yeah.
So
I've heard of that. Some of those like that. I didn't know they were still doing those like that though. I didn't know that was they were still even doing those.
When we first started going to Arizona, we just drive into Safford and go to the first Walmart we seen and go get our tag and go. So within the last 2 years is when they started doing that. So
that's cool. So I'm looking over your shoulder. That big old buck with the main beams that are about touching. Is that an Oklahoma deer?
Oklahoma deer there. That's a stud. He was right. So I grew up in Locust Grove, Oklahoma, and he's an Oklahoma deer right there from Locust Grove. That's my first biggest deer I've ever killed right there. That's around Kenwood area, and then this one's right from where I'm not too far from where I am now.
Nice.
This guy here.
Nice. That's some studs there, man. That's a good wall right there. What about that ram? Yeah. Is that Texas, or where'd you get that at?
Man, that was my dad. He shot that. My dad's in a wheelchair and gets drawn into a bunch of hunts with paralyzed veterans, and it's just one he shot, and he gave it to my son. Actually, that's why it's sitting here.
It looks good. It's got some curl on it for sure.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I think at Geary, Oklahoma, at the No Mercy Ranch, I think is what that was.
Gotcha. That's cool, man. I man, I enjoyed you coming on. I try to keep it short. Like I said, I know it's your birthday. We had a little technical issue with the power going out right before. It hadn't rained here in like 3 months. We're in like a drought burn ban.
Yeah.
I try to get on and do a podcast for 30 minutes on one day, and of course it has this big storm show up. And
dude, same thing with archery events, right?
I feel like
put on an archery event, it's gonna rain.
Every weekend this spring I feel like it rained. So, it was one thing after another, but it didn't slow me down any. We just went out and shot. So it was still a good time. Where can people follow you guys? I mean, like you said, you got a YouTube channel. How do you want people to reach out and follow and keep up and see these big announcements you're talking about?
Yeah. So our main thing is Facebook, and that's mainly because it's me that runs that. I'm a Facebook guy. So Shot the 3D Experience on Facebook, but we also have Instagram. We have a TikTok that we're slowly trying to get into doing that too. Jeremy's been doing some shop talk on the TikTok. So you guys can tune into the TikToks and hear talk about Tactacams, severed broadheads, all kinds of different things. But also our YouTube, Shot the 3D Experience. We're trying to grow and expand that thing. So we're going to be doing a bunch of podcasts and some more content for the YouTube. So Shot the 3D Experience on YouTube.
When I think about Jeremy on TikTok, I think about him doing like little dances and stuff, like with the music. Yeah. All the TikTok dances, twerking, and all that stuff. So
maybe that's what we need him to do. Maybe that's what's going on.
I don't have TikTok, but I might download it if that's what's going to be on there, just to see it. Just to see what it's all about. So, I appreciate you getting on here and talking to me on your birthday, which I know you got a lot of other things you could be doing on your birthday than talking archery with me. But I enjoyed it, and I have a blast. Can't wait for the springtime to get back out there and start launching some bombs at full targets. And I'm gonna make an effort next year. And I said I was gonna do it this year, and I just didn't do it. Y'all do a ton of cool giveaways. Like y'all give a bow away at every event. Is that right?
Sometimes 3.
Yeah, y'all were doing
we give away a Darton every event, and then we give away an Elite Carbonera for 2 on the 200-yard shot that we did. Thanks to Okie Land Bow Hunters on that.
Absolutely.
Tulsa Tackle and Outdoor give us a prime and an elite bow to give away at the Oklahoma events. We give lots of bows away.
Oklahoma does a good job of supporting archery and getting behind it. I've talked to shops around here and been like, man, they're doing these events and stuff. You ought to get involved. Sponsor something, get your name out there. Can't get a lot of motivation out of anybody, but hopefully as you guys keep growing and more and more people, it's like they'll eventually go, he's right, we need to get involved in this somehow and get our name out there attached to it. And if you're wanting to do that, reach out to them on all the sources that they just mentioned, because it's going to be a big year next year.
Yeah, man, we're right in the middle of negotiating all of our sponsorships and all that stuff for next year. Got a majority of them back and adding some. So
awesome.
We're if you guys are hearing this and wanted to reach out, just shoot us an email, a message, or whatever. Mine's Bryan, shot3d@gmail.com. So you can do that, or just a message on any of the platforms that we're on. We'll get to me, Jeremy, or Tim. So
yeah, and I'll link all your social media stuff down below. So if anybody's interested in it and they want to follow it, they're too lazy to just search for it, they can scroll down and click the link and go check it out.
Yeah, One thing we're going to add too is I think Jeremy's working on it. He's probably going to get mad, but it's going to push him to do this. Is we're going to add what Wild Creek targets we have on our website. So www.shot3dx.com. We're in the next week or so, you should be able to start seeing some of the Wild Creek targets we have available for sale. So check those out.
Yeah, I will definitely be looking at them. I think those targets are really cool. So that's really cool, man. I appreciate you jumping on here, man, and hope you have a good birthday. And man, I'm gonna be looking for some of them announcements.
Yep.
All right, man, we'll see you.